World War II ended finally in the summer of 1945. Life in the United States began to return to normal. Soldiers began to come home and find peacetime jobs. Industry stopped producing war equipment and began to produce goods that made peacetime life pleasant. The American economy was stronger than ever. Some major changes began to take place in the American population. Many Americans were not satisfied with their old ways of life. They wanted something better, and many people were earning enough money to look for a better life. Millions of them moved out of cities and small towns to buy newly built homes in the suburbs. Our program today will look at the growth of suburbs and other changes in the American population in the years after World War II.
The United States has always counted its population every 10 years. The government needed to know how many people lived in each state, so it would know how many congressmen each state should have. The first count was made 200 years ago. At that time, the country had about 4 million persons. 100 years later, the population had increased to about 63 million persons. By 1950, there were more than 150 million persons in the United States. In the early years of America, the average mother had 8 to 10 children. Living conditions were hard. Many children died at an early age. Families needed a lot of help on the farm. So it was good to have many children. This changed in the years that followed. Families began to have fewer and fewer children. By 1900, the average woman only had 3 or 4 children. And by 1936, during the Great Economic Depression, the average American mother gave birth to only 2 children.
This changed immediately after World War II. Suddenly, it seemed every family started having babies. Parents were hopeful about the future. There were lots of jobs, and people everywhere felt the need for a family and security after the long, difficult years of the war.